When they pop up, I'll start. All right, I'd like to call the Griffith Town Council meeting to order. If you can please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Could we have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Jim Marker,
I am present.
Councilmember Larry Balla, Council President Rick Rifa.
Present.
Councilmember Tony Hobson,
Present.
Councilmember Melissa Robbins.
Present.
All right, everybody's received a copy of the December 15th minutes. What's the pleasure of the council?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, no. The motion carries. Could we have the claims, please?
Claims number 31364 to 31581 in the amount of $2,011,618.78.
I'll make a motion to approve the claims as read.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, no. The motion carries. The announcements. The next town council meeting will be meeting on Tuesday, January 5th at 7 p.m. There'll be a study session before the meeting at 6:30 and one will follow if necessary. We do have communications. Mr. Hobson.
Yes, I have a letter from Republic Services that I'll be reading a portion of. Just a little bit of background. We are in negotiations in the middle of our contract with Republic, and there's a dispute about certain aspects of that. And just a little tidbit from that is Republic must reiterate that it will terminate provision of all services to Griffith as of January 31st, 2021, if an agreement is not reached in the interim. Republic cannot identify or indefinitely continue to unilaterally shoulder the increased costs of providing collection services to Griffith. So, Rick, I'll let you expound on that if you want
Okay.
to.
And what that stems from, our contract called for an automatic renewal of every 3 years. This contract was signed in 2016, December of 2019. Griffith chose to do nothing and let the contract automatically renew. We've had several attorneys, contract lawyers, as a matter of fact, that have reviewed the contract. They are firmly in the belief that this contract did renew. Republic has rejected that notion. They've tried to get an increase in rates from us for the last year plus. We believe that the rates are what they should be as specified. And we're certainly willing to sit down and talk to Republic. We've had a fantastic relationship with them for many, many years. The service is excellent. However, we do have a dispute in what we believe is the true meaning of the contract and what they are trying to increase it by. Our thoughts are, just because the market has changed and it was an agreement that was agreed upon 4 years ago now, that they're still held by that contract. And just because their costs have increased, there's no justification whatsoever that they can force us to pay a higher rate other than what's specified in the contract. So that's where we're at. We've reached out to them to schedule a meeting very soon to see if we can find some middle ground. But we are on top of it, and we certainly won't be without service after January 31st, one way or another. So, all right, thank you. Do we have any reports from Public Works?
As everybody knows, it's snowing. We've got the plows out. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. All right, there is no anything from fire? All right. We will go to public comment. Does anybody have a comment on any of the items we have on the agenda right now? There'll be time for public comment after the meeting otherwise. All right, we'll go to new business. Mr. Hobson, you have the first item.
Yeah, I have that. It's a resolution Number 2020-14. This is a resolution to transfer appropriations within the general fund. Whereas in the appropriations of funds and the budgets of various departments of the town of Griffith, there is a need to transfer fund appropriations. This is really kind of a year-end, settle up, if moving from one fund to another fund. The total transfers in what must be about 35 funds is $59,656.17. I'd like to make a motion that we approve resolution number 2020-14.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing no discussion, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, no. The motion carries. Mr. Marker, I believe you have the next item.
Yes, sir, I do. Item number is 2024-24. It's the salary ordinance. This is an amendment to the ordinance that we already approved previously, sir. This amendment adds on the perfect attendance bonus that we had in previous years. I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 2020-24, the salary ordinance amendment. I believe this has to be a first reading because it's an ordinance.
That is correct. So that is a first reading. Since this is something that we've had going on for several years now, I would certainly entertain a motion to suspend the rules and pass this on first reading.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion to suspend the rules.
Rick?
Yes.
Larry's not here.
Yeah, I thought
We need a supermajority to suspend the rules, which would be 75%. So 4 divided by 5 is 80. So we are good to go.
Thank you.
All right. So there is a motion and
Jim seconded.
and a second to suspend the rules. Could we have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Jim Marker,
In favor.
Council President Rick Rifa,
In favor?
Councilmember Melissa Robbins,
In favor.
Councilmember Tony Hobson.
In favor.
Motion has to suspend the rules has passed. Next would be a motion to pass the resolution.
I make a motion pass ordinance 2020-24, the salary ordinance amendment.
Second.
We have a motion, a second to pass the ordinance. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion carries. All right, go to the final agenda item. Melissa?
I have resolution number 2020-25, a resolution to transfer appropriations. Whereas the appropriations and various funds in the budgets in the town of Griffith, there is a need to transfer the appropriations, appropriations. Again, this is year-end things that are being transferred within funds. It's $34,226.88. I make a motion that we approve this resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion carries. Is there any other business from the council?
No, sir.
All right, at this time, open the floor for public comment. If anybody has a question or comment, just please state your name.
Chrissy Braun. Last meeting, we discussed about the flooding in our alley, and I haven't heard anything or been contacted by Public Works at all. I was just wondering what the status is,
Okay,
because just to make you aware, with the weather we're having and the fact it's turning to rain, my garage will flood tomorrow. And I've been trying to be very patient and understanding, but this has been an issue since I bought my home, which previous owner was kind of didn't disclose it. So it has come to a point where there's property damage, and I've had multiple contractors out, and the only solution, because my garage sits below the alley, it has to all be knocked down, cement broken up, everything rebuilt and regraded. And I'm just wondering, I mean, what are we gonna do to prevent this from continuing to happen?
okay. Mr. Konopasek, were you able to communicate with anybody at Christopher Burke on this?
I left a message with their office. I have not heard from Thomas Burke.
Okay, what maybe we may want to suggest, if the snow does melt and it rains tomorrow, let's see if we can get one of our local engineers to go over there and take a look at it and get some documentation and pictures. Part of what we need to do is to see that, is it coming from, we're not saying that we're doubting you, but let's confirm that it's the town's, it may be the town's responsibility that the water isn't flowing properly, as opposed to some drainage issues that you may have in your property. But that would be the perfect time if one of the local engineers are available. Let's see if we can get it out there. We don't need to contact you. We can get, you want to give us your address after the meeting, that would be great. And we'll.
I have it, Rick.
Okay, but if not, at least if we can have our own personnel go out there and take a look at it and get some pictures and kind of get an idea of what's going on, that would be very nice. Okay. All right, any other comments or questions from the?
Well, I'm her next door neighbor, and I talked to Southern July.
I know.
You know,
So,
I put $2,200 worth of dirt in my backyard, try to slope it as far away from the garage as possible. And well, one, I just transferred the water from another spot to another, and I'm still getting a little bit of seepage into the garage from the alley.
okay.
So I mean, I kind of feel like I did my part. For some help.
Okay, sure. And just, I know we've discussed this many times, just to refresh our memory. Do you all think it's an issue of the alley's not draining at all? Is it being clogged?
It's a combination that whatever eco-friendly
Yeah.
material in there. I mean, I've lived there 19 years, and I watched them dig that alley deep, which I was so happy to see. I was like, oh, good, now I can really get a flow down here and get rid of all the water that comes into, any water that comes into the yard, and then watch them fill it back up with the big chunky rock, and then they put the asphalt that's porous over it, and I'm like, what the hell is this? It's actually supposed to have a bowl shape in the middle.
Yes, it is.
Which
Yep.
it doesn't. And so the water would collect into that and seep through. And I keep hearing, and this isn't from anybody who has a great knowledge of it, but a lot of people claim that the water table in this town is high, that this was built on a swamp at some point in time or what have you. So whoever thought that we could seep water into a high water table, it was kind of a bit of a mistake there. But anyways, it's not seeping the water down like it should. Puddles still develop in the low spots, and it's just too darn high. And when I started talking to you guys about this in July, I went around and started talking to some of my neighbors, and they have the same problems. It's just nobody else is coming forward and raising for lack of a better term, raising a stink about it like I have in the last 5 months. And I mean, people are like, God, my backyard floods real bad now. And one guy, his garage was really bad. And unfortunately, he purchased a house and it wasn't disclosed. And his floor looks like mine, big cracks in it now. And I showed you guys the picture back in July. My floor was fine, and now it's just, it's bad.
Okay.
I don't even like going in there now. I'm a guy, I like hanging on the couch.
All right. Well, Mr. Konopasek, let's see. I know that there's holidays and people may be on vacation, but if we can get a hold of one of the principals or the lead engineers that we had contracted with, if they can give us even a 2-minute update or a minute update on where they are at with all the data collection and what the next schedule is going to be.
Okay,
We can have that by next week would be great. If there's holidays, we understand we have to wait to the following meeting, but let's see if somebody's around.
I got it.
All right, very good. Any other comments or questions? All right, the meeting is adjourned.